Scales make up the harmonic fabric of music. They're one of the most fundamental elements of music, beyond just the raw interval. But any song you hear has chords in it or chord progression. Those chords come from scales. The melody was constructed from a scale. The solos are all, based on notes from a scale. When you hear a key change, it's a new scale being introduced to provide new chords and new texture. So they're very important to learn. As musicians, we must all learn our scales. It's like eating your vegetables. But there's a divergence where you can practice scales, you can come up with new patterns, and you can sort of get yourself to a position where you've memorized something and you don't need to use your head or your ears anymore. I can't talk and do a lot of things, but I can talk and play this scale because I've given it over to my hands. Like I've just said, go get this thing, go get me some more speed. It's an easy geometric pattern, it's a mathematical problem, and my hands can solve it for me. This leaves players sometimes with a habit of sounding a little two-dimensional and not really bringing the musicality that scales can provide to bear. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. Today I'm going to show you a few exercises that I developed to focus your attention on building your sensitivity to the harmonic signature of a scale rather than how to play it and how to get it really fast. These exercises are designed to be played slowly and thoughtfully, and they're designed to leverage your technique very, very specifically and in a very detailed way. So what they do is they shift your focus from a mechanism to a more harmonic understanding of what it is you're doing. Hopefully what these will do is show you how to control the harmonic tension and really leverage the sonic signature of the scales that you play. Okay, like I played on the top, I'm going to show you 3 different examples. They're a little bit different than that all require a lot of focus from your hands and your ears to make sure your bending is in tune and you understand where you are on the neck. So as a scale exercise, they're more about evoking the harmonic signature than they are about building speed or technique. I'm going to play each one, show you what position they're in, and then break them down for you. They all start on the same note, this A note. The first pattern starts on the 2nd fret of the G string. The second pattern starts on the 7th fret of the D string. And the third pattern starts on the A note on the 12th fret of the A string. Those are all the same note. So I'll play the first example and I'll show you the position it's in, or I might break those down differently. So here's the first one. So let's break that down. First of all, here's the scale it's derived from. Simple A major scale. 4 notes per string starting on the G string. You might want to get that under your fingers before you really start to apply all the bends. So you just keep track of where you are. Here's how it goes. Ring finger on that 2nd fret G string. Slide up a whole step. Now bend up a whole step and slide to the 7th fret. Those are the first 4 notes of the ascending part. The next part starts on the B string, 5th fret. Play it, bend up a whole step, slide up to 9 and bend up a half step. Now I like to not pick as many of these as possible, but you can pick. It's not really about picking, it's about expressing. I don't pick every one, so you can do whatever kind of picking you would like. The concept here again is about nailing those notes. Now descending, it goes like this. 9th fret, pre-bend a half step, play and release. 5th fret, pre-bend a whole step, play and release. Make sure your bending is in tune. That's what this is all about. You can even scoop into them if you want. G string, 7th fret. Now 4th fret, bend a whole step, play and release. 2nd fret. And then I do this little thing here. And then basically you're going from the 5th fret, trilling down to the 4th fret, to the 2nd. Here's the second one. This is a nice pattern. Here's the underlying scale that it uses. You want to get that under your fingers before you get started. Again, starting on that D string, A note on the 7th fret. The way I started is ring finger, play on the 7th fret, slide it up a whole step. Now switch over to the G string, 6th fret with the index finger, pluck it and then bend it up a half step. So far as this. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. Now I want to slide up on that same G string to the 9th fret with my ring finger from this bent position. So that's 6th fret, G string, index finger, play, bend up a half step, slide up to the 9th fret with your ring finger, with your middle finger. Now, we're going to bend this up a whole step. We're going to sort of slide it across, and as we do, we allow the B string to roll under our fingers and strike it. That's a double stop, 2 notes playing there. Now grab them both and relax them. You're sort of relaxing the G string and bending the B string at the same time. That's going to work really well on a Telecaster, Les Paul, anything that has a stop tail piece. This bend might get a little funky if you have a floating tremolo like a Strat or a Floyd Rose. Here's that whole phrase. Now descending, here's how it goes. Ring finger, 9th fret of the B string, pre-bend a half step, play and release. Down to the 7th fret. Now G string, 7th fret, pre-bend a whole step, play and release. 6th fret. Now on the D string, it's 9th fret, hammer onto the 10th fret, pull off 9 to 7. Here's the third exercise. So let's start by just looking at the scale pattern that this one uses. Starts on the 12th fret on the A string. It's just 1 note there. And then on the D string, 3 notes, and then 4 notes on the G string. So here's how it starts. Pinky on that 12th fret A string. That's the only note we play on the A string. Then we go to the D string, 9th fret, up to 11, bend a half step. Now the G string, this one's a little tricky. It's 9th fret, 11th fret, whole step bend, then slide up a whole step to the 13th fret and bend a half step. That goes like this. Descending, you start that same pre-bend, 13th fret G string. pre-bend a half step, play and release. Ninth fret, G string, pre-bend a whole step, play and release. D string, 11th fret, pre-bend a half step, release. Now you pull off and hammer on down to that 9th fret and then play the 12th fret on the A string. That whole descending line sounds like this. Well, there it is. 3 exercises that are really designed to bring some sensitivity to your playing rather than speed or just raw technique. I hope they're helpful. Again, if you need some more time with these, I've tabbed them all out and they're on my Patreon page and that's in the description below. Please go over there and grab that stuff if you need some more time. Otherwise, I'm so hopeful that this has been helpful. These kinds of exercises that I've done and my students have done, they're really just about really building some sensitivity and getting some more musicality back into your playing. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.